Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Cilinix Crypto. Welcome to this middle of the day market update. Even though the New York Open today will not happen because it's Juneteenth, so there's going to be less volume and less, volatility can actually be quite high. But the activity in the markets in general will be relatively low today. Still wanted to do an update because, quite a lot of interesting things obviously are going on in the world, and this low volume can also create quite a lot of volatility. So I wanted to touch upon that real quick right here with Bitcoin, but I also wanted to focus on some altcoins that I think personally are interesting. So we'll spend a little bit more time on the altcoin section, which I think is very valuable for all of you as well. Obviously, the main fundamentals after having gotten the FOMC out of the way yesterday is now again the Middle East, right, and what's going on there. Now, this is something I'm getting a little bit tired with it because I keep an eye on multiple news feeds about what's going on, but that is necessary, right? And if you want to be updated on that, I would consider joining the news channel I have on Telegram, right? So if you go to my page right here on X, if you go to my profile, my pinned post highlights all the channels I have, and then we also have Telegram crypto news, in which I try to forward relevant news as soon as I can. So that's what I'm very busy with, but obviously the development and escalation or de-escalation of that conflict is the main driver of the market right now, especially when the markets are closed or when the general financial markets are closed, and especially also in summer. So that is something, if you really want to know what's going on, you have to keep an eye on the news. Ultimately, other fundamentals today don't really matter, right? I mean, at some point of time, probably later this summer, we're going to get some trade deals and we're going to get some more news regarding that, but that really does not matter that much at this point of time. So that's what I think you need to know regarding the fundamentals. Now, Bitcoin, my thoughts haven't really changed. I mean, this is the 4-hour time frame right here. Bitcoin is relatively stable. We're stable in this area right here between 103,500, 103.5, so 103,500. And the main resistance level we have around 107,000. I think we will remain stable within that range, and that's also what I said earlier. And since we hit the bottom of the range right here, and we have some imbalances here to the upsides, I would say there is a bit of a magnet to the upsides of this balance right here. So that would be indicating that a move into 107,000 is quite likely, and I agree with that. Right, I think today will not be very volatile if there's no fundamental news, right? That's crucial to say, but it will not be very volatile. But I do have a slight bullish bias for Bitcoin to move up within the same range, but break out of the range I do not expect. The thing you should know though is that you can already see it right here on the 1-hour time frame. The volume so far today has been incredibly low. So that usually also means that liquidity is quite low. So if we get some sort of headlines today regarding mainly the situation in the Middle East, that can create some huge spikes, right? So I think Bitcoin, like if we get some good news, we can spike up to 109,000, for example. If we get some bad news, we can spike down into the low 100,000s easily as well. So just be prepared for that. When placing orders, when in future trades, etc. And as long as you are aware of that, then you're fine. But those are my thoughts on Bitcoin and a little bit about the fundamentals. For Ethereum and for XRP, I have very similar thoughts, right? XRP and Ethereum are also pulling back slightly right here. For Ethereum, I have the same thoughts as with Bitcoin, that I think it's quite likely we're going to get some sort of a move into the higher areas of the consolidation that Ethereum is in. With XRP, I think we'll just remain stable around this area until we get some news, or until tomorrow, right? Because tomorrow we're going to get some new capital flowing into the markets. We're going to get some new volume into the markets, and that is most likely going to shake some things up. Now, when we're talking about altcoins, like I said, there it gets a little bit more interesting. There's a couple of altcoins that I wanted to spend some time talking about right here, and I wouldn't call any of these great to buy, but I do think they're great to watch, and under the right circumstances, I do think they can become great buys. First of all, SAI, or SAI, whatever you want to call it, but this is the ticker. That is not. This is the ticker. It's a relatively interesting crypto project, and fundamentally it has done great in 2025 as well. But you can see we had a massive volume spike right here with the bottom. After that, also a reclaim right here of 17 and 17.5 cents. Very interesting, right? Very often when you see price action like that, that indicates a bottom, and then their fundamental performance so far in 2025 makes me think that this is actually a pretty good opportunity to buy into, like I said, under the right circumstances. Coinbase is doing great, and that has effects on the base ecosystem as well. The biggest decentralized exchange, apart from Uniswap, is Arrow. Arrow is doing great too, right? Broke out above this major resistance level at 80 cents. Similar as would say, under the right circumstances, this still looks like a great buy. At this point of time, Arrow is valued. If I can load this, yeah, so Arrow is, well, no, that doesn't work. Arrow is valued at a valuation of $800 million. I would say, you know, if Coinbase continues on the trajectory and on the journey that they're at right now, you know, doing quite a lot of great things, I think Arrow can rally up higher, above $1, maybe even into 1.25 and 1.3. But like I said, circumstances have to be right, and for me, the circumstances to buy into Arrow or Say at this point of time are both not right. And then last of all, and this is a little bit more of a fun crypto, I'd say, and that's not pun intended, by the way, but that is fun, right? So fun is, first of all, a very manipulated crypto project. But the thing is, and why I still wanted to highlight it, is that first of all, technically, we've reclaimed a major key level right here around 0.004. And then outside of that, the volume is extremely high. It's trading at a higher volume than Pepe, for example. In general, for the last 24 hours, it's been in the top 10 in volume. That usually means something. And then we also have a funding rate of minus 2.7%. So I think that's interesting as well. But that's those are the altcoins that I wanted to highlight in this video. That's in general, I think, what you need to know regarding the markets for today. Like I said, keep your eyes on the news if you want to be fully updated throughout the day as well. But that's it. Thank you for watching. Take care and bye.